So, hamstrings, IT band, and wide legs. All right, but we're going to start with warming up the feet because we're going to do some fun stuff with the feet. All right, top up to, we'll do the whole body, but it's leg day. Yay. All right, so let's start by bending the knees softly, and then we're going to pull the toes towards the chest. Take a couple breaths here. Feel if it's tight anywhere in the calves or the ankles. Did you say yes? Same. All right. So maybe we're throwing calves in there too. All right, so let's do point and flex. Just nice and slow and easy. You can do both together or one at a time. Excellent. All right, release that one. We're going to do circles around with the ankles. We do one at a time, both together or opposites. Excellent. All right, release that, and then let's do the supinate and pronate. So the sole of the foot goes in towards the center, and then the pinky toe towards the shoulder. So we're just going back and forth, both together or opposites. Excellent. All right, release that one, and then let's do the toes. So we're going to open and close the toes. Excellent. All right, release that one. Last one is windshield wipers. Two options here. So you can just go side to side, or my favorite is both go in and both go out. So just kind of pay attention to what the hips are doing. It's all connected. Excellent. All right, shake that out. And then you can come up to cross-legged or keep the legs out straight. And then we're going to come up to the wrists. So arms out, we're going to tuck the thumb, wrap the fingers around, make circles with the wrist. Bring into the elbows and the shoulders. Excellent. All right, release that, shake it out, and then palms together, interlace the fingers, and we'll make figure eights. Pause for a moment. We're going to pull the hands apart, switch fingers on top. Excellent. Release that and shake it out. And then let's do two more with wrists here. So we're going to extend one arm, fingers up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to gently pull the shoulders back to the shoulder. So, all right. And then let's do thumb down towards the floor. Nice. And then last one over here, fingers point down towards the floor, opposite hand pushes into the back of that hand. Excellent, release that. All right, let's do the other arm, extend the fingers up towards the ceiling, gently draw the fingers back towards the shoulder. Nice, and then thumb down towards the floor. Excellent, one more. Fingers point down towards the floor, and then pushing the back of the hand into the opposite hand. Nice, release that and shake it out. All right, so we'll skip the neck and shoulders, but just be slow when we're moving stuff to kind of get them warmed up. So let's do 6 directions of the spine, and then we're going to do some fun other stuff. Okay, sitting cross-legged. All right, I'm not firing on all cylinders today. All right, if you're seated cross-legged, hands under the knees. If the legs are out straight, hands under the thighs. We're going to start with our exhale back to cat. Inhale, rounding up cow. And back and forth between the two. Excellent. All right, coming back to center. We're going to do our fabulous laterals. So one hand on the floor, we're going to inhale this other arm up. And as we're just kind of warming up, you don't have to go as far. Inhale, other side. But we're going to push that hand into the floor, keeps this opposite knee from hopping up. And just side to side, we're nice and slow. And as you keep going, you might warm up a little bit more and go a little deeper. If you don't, that's okay. But we don't do a lot of lateral movement as humans because we're not climbing trees anymore. But we really need to move this because the muscles in between the ribs are what is our opening up our rib cage so we can get better breathing mechanics. All right, one more time each side. Otherwise, I'll be here all day doing this one. Excellent. All right, next one is twist. So we're going to inhale nice and tall, exhale, turn to the first side. Inhale, center, exhale, second side. So this one, we want to keep it in the upper half to upper third of the spine. The lower down we go towards the tailbone, the less range of motion that we have. But I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been doing a lot of movement that we warm up with the neck. We haven't done a lot of shoulder stuff yet, but we'll get there. Excellent. All right, let's do one more time each side. Nice. And then back to center. All right, so we're coming into our first hamstring movement here. So if they're not all out already, let's bring the legs out in front. And then we're going to do a couple of adjustments. So first thing we want to do is walk the hips back. And then if you have extra junk in the trunk, that sounds about right? You can just pick it up and move it back so that you're sitting on the sit bones. That's going to give us a little bit more it's not range of motion, but depth of field. How about that one? All right, so we're going to use our friend gravity. Inhale the arms up, and then we're hinging at that hip joint. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to do this dynamically first. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, up. And then when you're coming down on the exhale, pull the belly button in. And try this. If you are clenching your legs when you're doing this, see if you can relax them. And that might give you another inch or two. It might not, and that's okay, but it might. Because you're working against your body if you've got those muscles tight and you're just like, ah. So relax the legs and see if that gives you a little bit further. All right. We do one more. Exhale, come down, grab the legs wherever you can reach. We're going to exhale, pull the belly button in, fold forward, drop the chin, And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. If you want, when you inhale, come up a little bit and then exhale back down. If you can reach your big toes, you can grab the big toes. And again, relax the legs, see if that helps. Excellent. All right, when you're ready to come out, we're going to extend the arms over the legs, push the legs into the floor. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, and release. Nice. All right. Let's come up to hands and knees, and if you have a block or a blanket, grab that and put it on the side of your mat. All righty. So the first thing we want to start with is our cat and cow. So we'll do a couple of cat and cow, and then we'll add a child's pose onto it. So starting with the exhale cat, shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Inhale, cow looking towards the horizon. We want to keep that belly engaged so we're not dumping towards the floor. Excellent. Okay, so let's meet back in our exhale for cat. And then we'll inhale cow. And then exhale cat down to child's pose. Let's do 3 more. Inhale coming up. Exhale cat down to child's. And if you would prefer just to stay in child's, that's totally fine. Otherwise, inhale back up. Exhale, cat down to child's. And last one, inhale coming up. Exhale, cat down to child's pose. Thanks. All right. So now is the fun one. If you have a blanket or a towel, I'm going to show you an option here. So you can fold this up so it's pretty high. That's probably taller than 1 block. If you have 2 blocks, you can stack 2 blocks. And basically what we're doing is sitting on our heels. So that's going to open up the front of the foot, or the top of the foot. So either side of the block or towel or whatever, in between the knees. And then if you want to bring your hands to the floor first, and then go back as far as is comfortable. And if you don't make it all the way down, that's okay. And then sitting up nice and tall. So this is, turn it sideways. Turn your blocks up, there you go. You can go higher if you want. So that's the top of the feet that we're stretching out. And if it hurts, obviously come up and come off. Come back down. If you're like, so easy, you can come down lower and then sitting in between the feet. Yeah, don't, if you go, oh, then that's too low. All right.
So does that help with tight ankles?
Yes, 100%. So that's gonna help with your ankles, tops of the feet. You can practice on the toes first. So curling the toes and then sitting down and then flattening the toes, coming back. If it hurts, don't stick with it, kind of move in and out. If it hurts like, ouch, ouch, then don't do it at all. All right, you guys ready?
Even if you had knee replacement.
Yeah, if you've had knee replacement, then it's probably not something you want to do at all.
Can't do it.
Yeah. But what you could probably do is,
So far as I can go without hurting.
yeah, so we don't want to go into pain. That's That's the most important thing. We're not here for the pain. All right, so from here, let's come up to standing. We'll skip all the other stuff. Maybe we'll come back down. So if you want to come up from this position without hands, we can start practicing that. Curl the back toe, pushing up, coming up. All right, so a nice big shakeout with the feet. If you want to grab a chair or a wall and shake it out. All right. So let's do some of the ones that I'm remembering now. I may not remember them later. We're gonna do our IT band stretch now, and we may do it again later if we remember. But let's do that one now. All right, so when we're in this position, if you have a block and you want to put it in front of you, that might not be a bad idea. Or a chair, or you could also do it at the wall. And then the leg that's in the back is the one that's actually getting the stretch. You know, it seems like it should be the front one, but all right. So one foot's gonna stay where it is. We're gonna cross the other foot in front. And we don't want to lock the knees, even though that kind of feels like that might be more stable. A little softness in the knees. All right, so we're going to hinge at the hip joints. But let's take an inhale first, nice and tall. And then hinge at that hip joint. Exhale, fold forward. And you're just going to go as far as you want. We haven't done a lot of forward folds, so maybe you're not going down as far as usual. And that's okay. We'll try it again later, maybe. Or you can practice at home. So we're going to breathe into this. And so wherever you're feeling that tightness, send the breath to the tightness. And then exhale, release the tightness. Excellent. All right, to come up, bring the hands to the hips, and we're going to come up, push the feet down, come up with a straight spine. Uncross, shake it out. And then let's do the other side. Crossing over. And one side may be tighter than the other. We all have asymmetrical habits of some sort. All right, hinging at that hip joint. Inhale first. And then we're going to exhale, fold forward. A little softness in the knees so you're not pulling too hard on the muscles because we want to get into that connective tissue. So we'll take a few breaths here, giving it a chance to relax. Excellent. One more breath. And then we're going to bring the hands to the hips, push the feet into the earth. Inhale, coming up with a straight spine. Excellent. All right, release it, shake it out. And then to release the muscles, because we may have tensed those inadvertently, we're going to do elephant walk. So again, if you have a chair or a block and you want to use that, that's totally fine. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. And basically, it's you're bending one knee and straighten the other leg. So we're going to hinge at those hip joints again. Exhale, folding forward. If you can reach the floor, awesome. If not, block or a chair. So we're going to bend one knee, straighten the other leg, and then switch. So depending on where you're tight on the back of the legs, you might feel a calf stretch or a hamstring stretch. Excellent. Okay. Again, to come up from this one, we're going to bring hands to the hips. Bend the knees this time. Inhale, coming up with a straight spine again. Excellent. All right. How'd that feel? Different? Okay. So let's do some of our other regular stuff, and then we'll do some of the other things on our list. All right, let's start with our moving balance. So we'll just go toes and arms. So we're gonna inhale, coming up, exhale down. If you want to add on to this, lifting the toes up when you come back down. That's going to give you some ankle mobility. Excellent. Let's do one more. Nice. All right. Shake out anytime you like. And then our next one is our Karate Kid Flying Crane. Let's just do opposites. So we'll start with our hands up to the side. We're going to lift one knee up, touch with the opposite hand, and back down. Other side. If you want to make this more difficult, you can keep that knee up. Count. We did some osteoporosis stuff last week, so 8 seconds or more if you want to do that, if you want to work on that. Nice. All right, let's do one more time each side. And release. Excellent. All right, check that out. Let's see. All right, we're going to do squat folds, another good hamstring, and actually hits both sides of the thighs. All right, lots of folds today. So we'll start with feet are decently wide because we're going to come down to a squat, but you can move your feet as we go. So if you like it closer and then wider, you can do that too. So here we go. So we're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale, we're hinging at that hip joint, fold forward, soften the knees. Inhale, we're going to come back up. And then exhale, squat. Inhale, shoot all the way back up. Exhale, fold forward. Soften the knees, inhale. Exhale, squat. And you don't have to come all the way down because we're going to pop right back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, squat. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, squat. Nice. Inhale up. The last one. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, squat. Nice. All right. Inhale. Bring it up. And then release. Excellent. All right. All right. So let's mess about with the feet, and then we'll do our warrior one. All right. So 1 foot kind of out in front a little bit. And we're going to lift up the toes, spread them out, and then set them back down. If you want, you can do one at a time. Big toe, pinky toe, toes in the middle, however you like. Excellent. Okay, next we're going to do our inner arch. So big toe side, lift up that arch, release, lift it up, and arch, relax, back and forth, up and down. Nice. All right, release that side. Let's do the outer arch side, pinky toe side, lift that arch up and release, up and down, Nice. All right, release that. And then let's do the other side. Lift the toes up, spread them out, set them down. Big toe, pinky toe. Toes in the middle. Excellent. All right, relax that. We're going to do the inner arch first. Big toe, make that suction cup up. Relax, lift, up. Nice. All right, release that side. Let's do the outside edge, pinky toe side. Lift it up. Excellent. And relax. All right, let's try one more movement here, and then we'll do our warrior one. So we're going to do circles with the foot. If you can and want to, you can come onto the top of the toes. If that doesn't work for whatever reason, you can just stay with the toes on the floor. And maybe one foot you can do it and not the other. But they might be a little bit more opened up because of all the other stuff we've done so far. All right, release that, check it out. Let's do the other side. All right, release that if you want, check it out. And then let's move into our warrior one. We're going to turn one foot out, step the first foot forward. And we'll start with the knees. So we're going to inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. Excellent. All right, so push off, step back. Go to the other side, turn that foot out, step the other foot forward. Inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. We're aiming for that second and third toe. And then once you kind of got that rhythm going, you can look up between the horizon and a couple feet on the floor. Excellent. All right, release that. You can push off, step back, or step that back foot forward. And let's add the arms. So we haven't done a lot of upper body work. So let's do cactus arms. If that does not work for you, you can do any of the other versions. All right, so here we go. So we're going to inhale, bend the elbows, bend that front knee, exhale back. If you want to make this more difficult, pull the elbows towards each other on the back side, but don't overdo it because you will feel it tomorrow or maybe even later today. Excellent. One more. Nice. All right. Step the feet back together. Go to the other side. If that back calf feels tight, you can always bend that back knee. All right, ready? Here we go. Inhale, bend the elbows, bend that front knee. Exhale back. Excellent. One more. Nice. All right. Step back or step the feet. Sorry, got distracted. Step the feet back together, whichever way you got to go. Let's see. What else are we working on? Wide legs. Let's do wide legs next. All right. So the wider the legs are, the closer we're going to be able to reach to the floor. But you got to get yourself back up. So don't go way too far. And then we're hinging at the hip joint. We're not rounding the spine. What else do we need to know? Just make sure you're breathing. All right. So let's start with pinwheels. So we're going to bring the arms out to the side. Start with an inhale. On the exhale, one hand goes to the opposite leg, wherever you're reaching, knee, shin, ankle. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, other side. Inhale and exhale. Nice, let's do one more time each side. Awesome, we'll drop the arms and you can heel toe the feet back together or hop or step, or you can leave them wide, but it's nice to give the feet a little break. All right, especially because we've done a lot of foot-centered movement. All right, next one is rainbow pose. If you have a block, and you want to use that, or a blanket, or you could even use your shoe or chair, that works too. All right, so legs are nice and wide. Hinging at that hip joint again, we're gonna inhale, nice and tall. On the exhale, fold forward. Arms come down in front, wherever you reach. Again, if your legs are wider, you can get closer to the floor. But don't overdo it. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna inhale, one arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back. Second side, inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Back to the first side, inhale. And exhale down. Second side, inhale. And exhale. Last time on the first side. Exhale down, and last time all together. Inhale up, and exhale down. Nice. Bend the knees, hands come to the hips. We're gonna inhale to come up with a straight spine. And then you can heel toe the feet together, or hop, or shake it out, however you want there. I think you wanna stay there too long. All right, last one, we're gonna do half sun salutation. And then, so two options with this. You can do how we regularly do the arms with the half sun salutation. I'm going to do straight arms, but if you have any kind of back issues, go ahead and do arms out to the side. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna inhale, arms up, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands can come to the front of the legs. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees. Inhale, arms to the ears. And then exhale down. Excellent, again, inhale. And exhale, we're hinging at that hip joint. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale. Arms coming up, and then exhale. Nice, one more time. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, all the way up, and exhale. All right, step the feet back together. Shake it out. All right. So let's do our warrior two. And we're gonna add the high lunge in to the warrior two instead of doing it separate. All right. So 1 foot in front, the back foot, alignment wise, heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Back foot's 90 degrees-ish. Hands at the heart, arms open up to side. We're gonna bend that front knee over that front ankle. Gaze is over the front fingers. Take a couple breaths here. Soften the shoulders, extend the fingers. Excellent. And then let's do some moving. All right, so we're gonna bend that front elbow. Forearm comes to that front thigh, this back hand. Hand can be on the hip. Hand up towards the ceiling or that bicep over the ear. Whatever works for your shoulder today. And then we're gonna inhale up to Peaceful Warrior. And then we're going to do the high lunge. So we're gonna take this back hand and swoop it in front. You're gonna pivot that back foot. If you can be on just the toes of the back foot, that's gonna be more of a challenge. If it's too much of a challenge, bring that heel down to the center. If the shoulders are bothering you, you can always do cactus arms. All right, we're gonna go back to warrior two. And then we'll do it all over again. Forearm to that front thigh. This back arm can be in any of those positions. And then Peaceful Warrior. Nice, big transition to high lunge. Swoop that back arm forward. Might have to pivot your feet a little or a lot. Nice, one more time through. We'll go back to warrior two. Side angle pose. Windmill around to Peaceful Warrior. Excellent, and then let's bring the back arm forward, pivot that back foot, high lunge. Excellent, to come out, and drop the arms, and you can step that back foot forward. All right, awesome. That may have been your easy side, or it may have been the hard side, we'll see. All right, other foot in front. In theory, the heel lines up with the arch of the back foot. If it doesn't, that's okay. We're gonna bend that front knee over that front ankle, hands at the heart, arms open out to the side. Soften the shoulders, take a few breaths here. Excellent, bend that front elbow, side angle pose. This back hand can be on the hip. Hand up towards the ceiling or the arm over the ear. Excellent. Windmill around to Peaceful Warrior. And then big transition. We're going to bring that back arm forward, pivot that back foot. High lunge. Excellent. All right, back to warrior two. Nice. Side angle pose. Windmill around to Peaceful Warrior. And big transition to high lunge. And 5 more times. I'm just kidding. One last time. Warrior two. Side angle pose. Peaceful Warrior. And last high lunge. Excellent. All right, step it out. Arms come down, back foot comes forward, shake it out. All right. Let's do a tree pose. All right, one foot is rooted into the earth, a little softness in the knees, or in the knee, straight leg knee. Check in with this hip, nice and strong. This hip, nice and loose. Hands at the heart. You can grow our branches, you can go straight up, Y, T, move it, breathe. And then if you have your balance, you can bring that foot up higher. That's not the primary, or that's not the only goal to do. Most important is breathing. Second is how many limbs off the floor you have. Third is not falling out. All right, coming out nice and gracefully. Check it out. Let's do the other side. Root that foot into the earth. Feel all four corners of the foot. Heel above the ankle. Hands at the heart. We're going to grow our branches. Check in with the breath. And then if you want to adjust from there, a Y, T, moving branches. If you have your balance, you want to bring that other foot up higher, you can do that. Excellent. And then coming out nice and gracefully. All right, check it out. Did we do this one? All right, I'm gonna go sideways on my mat. Or should I turn? No, I'm turning my mat sideways. You might have done it with the holds. We'll do it next week with the holds. But ankle strengthening is by using resistance. So if you have socks on, it might not work as well. You can practice at home without your socks on. Everybody kind of does their own. So side to side, you can go up and down your mat. You do it at home, you might like build up some static on the rug. All right. From here, we're going to come down into a squat and then do some more stuff on the floor. So if you want to skip a squat, that's totally fine. Otherwise, nice straight back. Oh, if you want an extra challenge with the squat, dropping a knee in. If you're making an ouchie face, then maybe don't do it.
I'm making funny cracking noises.
Oh, Rice Krispie treats. Okay. If I practice that one, I could do a little better. All right. And then falling gracefully on the floor without hitting your head, right? No emergency room trips today. All right, shake it out. Maybe pound the legs into the mat. And all right, so IT band, hamstrings. And what was the other one? What? Wide leg, okay. Oh, all right, so let's start with the wide leg again. You guys didn't know what you signed up for today, did you? All right, so legs are as wide as you can recover from. We're gonna do that when we did, what was it? First forward fold, we walked the hips back. That's a little harder to do when the legs are wide, but we can do this instead. Hands on the floor, and then we're gonna lift up and sit back down. So what I just did was, if you're sitting like this, your pelvis is tilted back, and you're gonna be like this. If you sit up and have a neutral pelvis, or maybe tilted a little bit forward, we're gonna get a lot further. If you want to, you don't have to. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna go forward, and then we'll bend, do each side, and then we'll go center again. All right, so we're hinging at that hip joint. And this time we're just gonna do walking. All right, so hands on the floor in front of us. Inhale, lift the chest up, and then on the exhale, pull the belly button in and gently fold forward. So I'll take one more breath here. And then we're gonna walk it back up. Inhale as you come up, and then use the hands, walk it back up to center. All right, you can use your hands under your knees to kind of relax the knees a little bit. And then we're gonna bend one knee and bring that foot into the thigh. And you can adjust where that straight leg is if it was out too wide or not out wide enough. And then this time we are going to use gravity. Inhale the arms up. We're going to turn the torso to face that extended leg. Exhale, fold forward. Tap down. Let's do two more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Tap down. Inhale, bring it up. And then this last time we're going to stay down for, I don't know, a breath or so. Tuck the chin, round the spine. The name of this pose is nose to knee. It's pretty audacious to suggest that we can touch our nose to our knee. Excellent. And then to come back out, we're going to extend the arms over the leg. Inhale, push the leg in, coming back up, and then turn to center. Exhale and release. We'll switch sides. Extend that leg out. And that side. Find that pelvis, that tilt again, so we're not tilted back or neutral. And then we're going to inhale the arms up, face that extended leg, exhale, fold forward, tap down, inhale, bring it up. Exhale down, inhale up. And then on this last time, grab your leg, drop your chin. Take one more breath here. And then fighting gravity, extend the arms over the legs, push the legs into the earth, or the leg in, back to center. Exhale, release. And then we're going to do both legs out again. Hands on the floor in front of you. Check in that pelvic tilt. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Take one or two more breaths here. And then hands come back down to the floor. Inhale, lift, pushing the hands in. And then we're going to take the hands under the knees, wrap the arms around the knees, drop the chin, and rock side to side. Awesome. All right, let's do one more here. So we're going to take the soles of the feet and bring them together. And then wrap the hands around the feet. And if you want, you can bounce the knees gently. And one last little option, if they do it, they may not, that's okay. Just opening up the soles of the feet away from each other, kind of like a book. And I don't know if you can see, oh, you can see a little bit on screen. So my knees kind of come down a little bit more naturally. I'm not pushing them. It's just how it's connected. Nice. All right. Bring the knees back together, and then we're going to come back onto the spine. Hands on the knees, rolling down onto the flats of the back. All right. First order of business, let's start with a one-legged Apanasana. So we're going to exhale, bring one knee into the chest. On the inhale, foot comes to the floor. Other side, exhale, knee in. Inhale, foot to the floor. Excellent. One more time on each side. Nice. All right, so let's, just for fun, let's throw in a bridge pose here. We're gonna do just the arms and the hips together, just the one version. Let's do it 6 times. All right, so lining up the heels, the knees, and those hip joints. On the inhale, push the feet into the floor, lift the hips up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down, hips down. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, down. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale. And exhale. And last time, inhale. And exhale. Nice. All right. From here, next one is knees come into the chest, hands on the knees. We're going to inhale, arms up overhead, feet towards the ceiling. Point and flex if you like. Might feel good after all that footwork we did. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. And last one. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Nice. All right, so let's bring feet down to the mat. And then we're gonna bring that right foot up towards the ceiling. Hands behind the back of that right leg. We're gonna exhale, bring that leg in towards the chest. On the inhale, goes back out. Again, exhale, bring it in. Inhale, out. And one last time. Bring it in and let it out. Nice. Arms out into a T. We're gonna drop that right leg over towards the right side of the floor. Nice. On the inhale, bring it back up. Exhale out to the side. Inhale up. And one last time. Exhale, send it out. Inhale, bring it up. And then we're going to move the left leg out of the way, cross the body with that right leg. And just breathe into any tension that you're finding. Nice. Inhale, bring that leg back up. And then both feet come to the mat. Knees are bent. Let's do the other leg. Left leg, foot comes up towards the ceiling, hands behind the leg. On the exhale, leg comes in. Inhale, back out. Again, exhale, bring it in. Exhale out. And one last time. Nice. All right, arms out to a T. We're going to drop that left leg out towards the left side of the floor. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale out. Inhale up. And one more time. Exhale out. Inhale up. Move that right leg out of the way. Cross that left leg over towards the right side of the floor. And we'll take a breath or so here. Nice. Inhale, we're going to bring that leg back up. And then both feet come down to the floor. Let's bring both knees into the chest. And if you like, you can rock side to side. Nice. Back to center on the spine. And then we're going to extend, our feet come down to the mat and then extend both legs all the way out. We're going to do our crescent pose or banana asana, as some people like to call it. All right, arms up overhead. And then legs straight out. We're going to walk both legs over towards the left. Both arms over towards the left. You can stay like this or increase the challenge. Cross that right ankle over the left and grab that right wrist with the left hand. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. First one, inhale into that right rib cage. Inhale and exhale. Second breath from that right shoulder to the right hip. Inhale and exhale, hip to shoulder. Last one on this side, fingertips to toes. Inhale. Exhale, toes to fingers. Nice. We're going to come back to center. Give it a nice good morning stretch. Sending the heels and the fingertips away from the center of the body. And then going over to the other side, walk the feet to the right, arms to the right. If you want to increase the challenge, cross that left ankle over the right. And grab that left wrist with the right hand. 3 breaths on this side. First one, rib cage. Inhale into that left rib cage. Exhale, release. Second breath, left shoulder to left hip. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, fingers to toes. Inhale down that left side body. Exhale, toes to fingers. Nice, release. We're going to come back to center. Give it one more good morning stretch. Excellent. And then we're going to bring the arms down by your sides. Option to bend the knees, feet into the mat. We're going to finish off with our palm tree pose arms. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Excellent. Finish the one you're on and do one more. And then let's get ready for our final relaxation pose. I'm going to sit up so you can hear me better. And if you want to jacket on, because I feel like it's going to cool off a little bit, or whatever other way you want to get comfortable, getting any last little wiggles out. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades under. Do a full body relaxation, walking up the body, relaxing each part as we go. Starting with the feet. Relax the toes. Relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way. I'm going to teach a whole new breath. Just see if you're awake. All right, so it is a core muscle strengthening device, but we're breathing at the same time. So it's a regular inhale, and then on the exhale, you're going to pull the belly button in and then hold it for 5 seconds. We'll do it 3 times, and then go back to the inhale. All right? If you want to watch for the first one, you can do that. Maybe we'll do 4. All right, ready? Here we go. So inhale. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Hold. Back to the inhale. Exhale, pull the belly button in. 5, inhale. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Hold it. Inhale. Do one more. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Inhale and release. So that's a good one for the muscles that we can't really get to because it's like way in on the inside. All right, namaste. Thank you guys.